Stobe the Hobo on board this single stack container train. I believe it's going to Norfolk, Virginia, hopefully. Going east, should be going back through Charleston. It's about 4 in the morning. I'm just gonna hit the hay, but I think we'll get some decent scenery on this train over the Appalachians. I'm not in the best car. It's called this is a Viking ship container car. But it'll have to do. Gotta get out of here. Go back to Charleston. The only better way to see it, full speed. Passing through the foggy Appalachians to these woods. This is wild country this train's passing through. Big, super deciduous woods. Look at the size of that river. What river is that? Wow. Look at this waterfall. Massive. But railroad tracks through this canyon, winding canyon up here, crossing some kind of big old lake or river out here. Look at this thing. Guys, John boat up there fishing for something. Whoa, look at that bridge! Train stopped next to this river a little outside of Clifton Forge. I'm gonna just get in and try to take a nice swim and see what happens. It's a little ways from the road. I'm not exactly sure where we're stopped, so I may get left here, but it's a pretty nice spot. Well, there it goes, but I gotta get in here. It's just so hot and miserable on the train right now. Nice. It looks like it's about to rain and I'm gonna get soaked. It's a good thing to be in here. This is what you've got around here. Very near Clifton Forge, Virginia. Just wild rivers, which you don't expect to see if you don't know about the Appalachians, but usually it's out west where you see this. That was refreshing. Look at that river. That said, it's going to be a fairly significant hike back this direction to where the highway crosses. So that's what you got to deal with. It was just so hot, I just had no choice. What's going on here in Eagle Rock? About an hour-and-a-half walk from that river spot. And faced with a couple choices here. The first option would be hitchhiking south to Roanoke on 220. Roanoke's got a busy Norfolk Southern yard with tons of trains going in a bunch of different directions. The other option would be to hitchhike north, back where I just came from, to Clifton Forge. which is a crew change. I think I'm gonna choose Roanoke. Hopefully I can get a ride today and be down there waiting at the yard tonight. What's going on? Just got one ride all the way completely into town from that isolated spot up in the mountains to Roanoke. The positive news here is there's a lot of trains. I mean, look at this. You got main lines here, and I'm not sure yet where they go, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'm trying to go south. So you got a lot of tracks, and there's probably a lot of trains coming through here. I know there's some junctions south here. It's very likely I'm just gonna have to gamble. I don't have any idea how to tell which way the train's going. I'm trying to go south. They all go kind of south-west-ish. There's trains that can cut up to Chicago. There's Memphis trains, and then there's New Orleans trains that are gonna go through Atlanta. It's my understanding they're all gonna be pulling out here, and at some point I probably am just gonna have to gamble and get on a train. So I'm gonna sit it, you know, hope, try to see if there's some way to tell, the same as with any other gambler's luck, like at the blackjack table, if there's a way to somehow get the right train, because I don't want to go back to Chicago. Well, it's nice that in this day and age there's still original Americana style places. Surprisingly good deals.
According to GPS, it's only 9 hours.
This is one place we're stopping in. Got this convenient little gate here that's open, so nothing's on too much lockdown. This here, right here, this is a westbound. And then you look down there and you got an eastbound parked. So this is the general area. Things are looking reasonable. I mean, I was just trying to get out of here, but it's not bad being a second day. I think in the morning, things take on a little more pleasant light. I mean, you got these mountains, forested woodsy mountains over there. Those are kind of nice. June 13th, 2016. And just kind of running into a couple issues here. First of all, I'd say the main problem is not where to get on the train. That's been determined. It's pretty basic. There's not a lot of security. But it's, where is your train going to go? So here, this is the very east edge of things here. I mean, you got all these mains up here splitting off. I'm pretty sure these ones follow 81 up to Harrisburg. And I'm pretty sure this one goes to Norfolk, maybe Richmond. That's pretty clear. Trains are going too fast at this junction. You're committed. Where you get on is about 1.5 miles that way. This just kind of showcases one of the problems with riding out on the East Coast. The distances, they're not super far. I mean, you could drive to New York City or Miami from here in probably 8 hours, or Chicago. But to get to these places on a train, it's a lot more complicated. West, the distances are way bigger. But I can get on a train, an intermodal stack train in Oakland, and know the train is going the distance to Chicago. So I can just get on, I'll be there in 3 days tops. Here, I'm just trying to get to Atlanta. But between this junction down here, the junction 40 miles west of town that the trains are going to be hitting at full speed. So in conclusion, even though the distances in the west are much bigger, the lines are direct with far fewer forks out right in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of gambling that goes on. You just don't know which way your train is going to hit the junction at 50 mph. So as far as the plan from here, Roanoke, I may just get some beer and get on the next train. It seems like in the one spot I was looking at, you could probably get a train in either direction. I just think the most important thing right now is getting out of this town. I've been here about a day. Not blending in. There's a lot of people seeing me walk around with this handy cam in town. I don't want to be here anymore. So that may mean north or south. Yeah. Oh, interestingly enough, only about 10 minutes later, unfortunately before I could buy any beer, Look who's pulling in slow. On board the train. Not sure which way we're going, but we're leaving Roanoke, so that's the good news. Out. Alright, we're switching tracks. It's maybe a Norfolk train. Very well, looks like we're taking the right fork of that junction. There's the tracks going off to the left, and we're making a right, so this could be good. It may go to Richmond, and I can get to Atlanta from Richmond. There's a beer store right there. Agonizing. I want beer so bad and I got none. Get another going off the main onto this freaking track here. What the hell is going on? I'm not gonna do this line again. This is just too much work. What's going on here? So the train stopped here for no apparent reason, and it does that a lot. It's no big deal, but this is a good time maybe to talk about how I can get an idea where I'm going. Norfolk Southern, on their webpage, they got this map. Now if you look at Roanoke, you know, you got that north, straight north, that's up 81 to Harrisburg. It looks like you got two eastbounds. I don't know what they're doing. Richmond, there's forks in there. We're going east of Roanoke, all right? Now as far as like what we're gonna do at these, where these cross, the train may go north or south at one of those. They may continue on to Richmond, just looking at the map. But I mean, some important concepts to point out. I'd say the one telltale thing about this train, you got CP rail greeners. That's Canadian Pacific. No echo at all. They're loads, which means they're coming from Canada. Which means, since they're coming from Canada, they were probably interchanged in Chicago. That's just where CP interchanges with Norfolk Southern. And if they're interchanged there, there'd be no reason for them to take this route to go north, because Norfolk Southern has an additional route through, you know, Elkhart, Indiana, over to Cleveland, and going up through Harrisburg. There'd be no reason for these cars to be going north here. There's a faster way to send these. So the options are, they're going to Richmond, Norfolk. They could be going to Lynchburg, Virginia. I'm not sure. It's possible this train could go south to Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know. I don't think it could go as far as Atlanta, because I think there's another route that goes down there. But I think this is going to get us closer to where we want to be. Definitely a daredevil move, but right here, just where the train stopped, I don't know why the train stopped, we got a beer store. I've never had anything work out this good, but there's no time to waste. Let's see here. Oh, this is one of those things that works out this time, right by the river. I think the train may be crew changing down here. They pulled it through the yard, because we're just stopped. I just got beer. It's like 100 degrees out, and this cold beer is like, it's just amazing. Doesn't get more convenient than a stop like this, folks. It's not gonna happen. Beer store, river, on a hot day, and the train is right there up the hill. Not a moment too soon. We are out of here, heading east. We're going straight south down into North Carolina, which is, I gambled on this train. So far it's looking like it's going to be a payoff. going on Stobe the Hobo well into North Carolina. Some interesting developments. My train is pulled off the mains. It's up there. This is in the absolute middle of nowhere. My train. It's looking like it's gonna dead end here, break up or something. But here's what's interesting. This stack just pulled in on the mains out here in the woods. And I think I can just get on this and continue. This is well north of Charlotte still. This is part of the deal. If you get on a general manifest train, the thing may just, especially out east. I don't know why it's out east especially, where they put these yards way out here. There's nothing out here. So I guess I'll just get on that. It's going to the southeast, guaranteed. Atlanta. I mean, I could be there fast. I'd like to get off in Charlotte and just see what's going on there. I'm surprised how fast this process has been to get down there from Roanoke. I thought it was going to be multi-day. I just kind of lucked out in this instance. I'm already past Charlotte. I wanted to get off there, but I think I just slept through, and it's kind of one of the issues on these train trips. The train shows up, you got to get up at all kinds of weird hours, which means you might, you know, not be well rested, and you might miss something because you're too tired and you sleep through it. Either the train shows up and you're tired and you miss it, or you just sleep through the crew change. So it looks like Atlanta is possible today. Staying on this train, guaranteed I'll be there today. It's pretty pleasant here. There's a lot of woods, nothing real exciting. It's another one of these intermodal facilities way out in the country. This is between Spartanburg and Greenville, and there's nothing out here. Again, you just gotta pray to God your train doesn't pull in here. You gotta make sure you're off the train if it does. The train's got EMP and Hub Group and JB Hunt, which I see none of in here, fortunately. This is just one of the dangers with intermodal that's starting to happen, is they're building more and more of these facilities way the hell outside the city limits. Fortunately, again, this looks like it's only ocean containers. I don't see any 53-foot JB Hunt or Hub Group or EMP or any of those. You're locked in there with major barbed wire. Super cameras everywhere. It's nuts. Going to Greenville, South Carolina. Doesn't look like there's a lot going on in this town at all. The city center over there in Greenville. Sure. Now in Georgia, approaching Atlanta. It shouldn't be too far to Atlanta from here. And the scenery is pretty decent. It was really boring in South Carolina. I didn't see anything even worth recording, but I mean, look at this trestle. That is, and the thing about these trestles is there's no freaking guardrail on these things. Usually out west you can walk. Not here, forget it. Although you do have 2 tracks. But, I mean, either way, I don't know how they work on this trestle. How do you fix the track out here? Look at this. I mean, you gotta be roped in. A lot of country music stars from somewhere around here. Alan Jackson is from close by this area. Leonard Skinner, they're from Macon. That's not super far from here. And I think there's a ton of other, and I can't remember right now, but this is the kind of environment that those guys are living in. going into Atlanta on this Norfolk Southern double stack train coming in from the north, and should be getting ready to stop and get off pretty soon. There's a lot of MARTA trains, so I mean MARTA can get you anywhere you need to go in this town. Well, this seems as good a place as any. Here we are. Dropped off right at the Amtrak station. First class treatment all the way from Norfolk Southern. Dropped off right at the passenger depot.